Thank you for joining me for another quick hits conversation. Today, I would like to talk about self-sabotage. Sara, kick us off.
Where do we even begin? It's such a great topic. To me, the first thing that comes up with it is it goes hand in hand in my mind with success and with chasing of success. And it feels like a lot of times I have personally experienced it when you're just like this close to just finally getting the thing that has been so elusive. If you really get into self-awareness and you're starting to really peel back the layers of why do I not have the thing that matters so much to me, that I want so much to achieve, to create, to accomplish, recognizing the patterns, what are some of the very elegant ways of sabotaging ourselves. I know personally I have needed to have a lot of mentors actually pointing out to me before I start to recognize the patterns, because the mind is very sophisticated sometimes in keeping you safe and keeping you comfortable, even when the comfort level is getting painfully uncomfortable compared to what is on the other side.
And I would say when I think of self-sabotage with myself and with my clients, which I'm probably visiting on them, my own experiences, is that people sabotage when they fear that if I succeed, I won't really have been as good as I should have been. Or once I actually claim this as my mantle, other people will start showing me how I never was really good enough or I shouldn't have been there. So if I self-sabotage, it's not, I'm not going to hit that mark where other people start calling me out. And so it's getting them over that fear of judging themselves or being judged by others, and accepting that, there's probably going to be a percentage of people who say you don't belong there or this wasn't yours to have. And you have to just embrace that. And once you can embrace that that's the reality, you stop shooting yourself in the foot and you move forward. And that's how it's worked in my life and with a lot of my clients.
Yeah, I think self-confidence and self-worth, generally speaking, are huge to kind of have in place within yourself to really minimize the self-sabotage. I think a lot of people, again, do it kind of subconsciously at times. So if you can go back and kind of, really kind of hone in on, okay, why did I start this? Why am I good at this? How did I get here? And why is this important to me? And continue to do that self-reflection. I think that's huge, just to be able to not kind of go down that dark path of self-sabotage, reflecting of, why am I here? This person in my ear is saying I didn't deserve this. Maybe they're right.
I'm currently rereading again the book The Big Leap, and it talks about that upper limit where everybody kind of has this line where that's, well, this is where I belong. And the thing for me is, how do you catch that? Like, how do you know before you implode your success? How do you notice?
Wow.
That's a good question.
I think I do a whole lot of, again, life brings you experience and you see your own patterns. So that's one way of noticing it, recognizing your own patterns. And I think it's doing an exercise and surrounding yourself with people who will be honest with you.
And you trust.
Yes.
You trust, but who will be honest. And I think a lot of people put themselves in positions where their peers and their subordinates cannot be honest with them. And so if you don't let that be a limitation you put on people around you, then they will help you not self-sabotage.
Yeah, somebody or a group of people that can hold you accountable and almost, I hate to use the word, but call you out because it has a negative, connotation, but somebody that can call you out and say, hey, why are you doing this? You've gotten this far by doing X, Y, Z. Why are you doing this to yourself?
Yeah, I think that's really important because I don't think we can do any of this alone. I actually am not an advocate of thinking that we ever accomplish anything alone. And people who believe they do are just kidding themselves.
Yeah. So one of my mentors many years ago, she said, there's 7 billion people on the planet for a reason. Don't try to do it on your own. Absolutely. And my business partner and I, we have daily conversations. We call them morning constitutionals. And the topic comes up a lot, especially as all 4 of us here are there to say are hardworking women. We don't shy away from working hard. So what comes up for me in that conversation, like, am I working hard enough? Do I deserve what I desire? And then you can go down to the rabbit hole of all the reasons why not? And all the reasons when you're looking for, well, I must be standing in my own way, so let me distract myself. We're trying to peel back the layers and dig where there's nothing to be dug up to begin with. And yeah, it just being able to have somebody to call you out, and also having awareness that sometimes it's you, sometimes it's simply the environment. Like, can you look around the people that you're surrounded yourself with, and what are their upper limits? Robyn, like you said earlier from the Big Leap, right? And what are these ceilings that we're consistently hitting? Or you might be breaking through the ceiling one week, and then the next week you're down at the bottom again, just because this is what's on your frequency.
I want to go back to the point that you made about, am I working hard enough? Because one of the best pieces of advice I was ever given was somebody said to me, Robyn, you are resilient. Stop making decisions that make you prove it. And there was something about me that was like, I have to do it the hard way or it doesn't count. And I had to get over that. Like, why was I making myself like pull a cart with square wheels? That's ridiculous.
I think as former athletes, it's almost in our brains that if you're not throwing up or passing out or working till exhaustion, that you're not trying hard enough, because that's, you know, how we were brought up, and that's how we became really great in our respective areas, is going and pushing our bodies to that nth level, where, you know, I don't know if you necessarily have to do that. I don't think you do, to be really, really great in your profession. But I think that's kind of how we were brought up and raised and wired. And that's why we, you know, became one of the best or really great in our respective sports.
Yeah. But I even think that if we had better coaches and mentors in our sports, we would have learned the difference between working through a struggle and causing pain. I think that all of us have learned to accept that we cause pain, and that has to be okay. And I would hope that I teach people that working through a struggle is okay. Causing yourself pain is never okay. As an athlete or as a businesswoman or as a mother, you have, and I think recognizing that difference is really valuable, and having people around you to, again, tell you, you are now just messing up. Now you are just causing pain and it's not helpful, is valuable.
Absolutely. And I would also layer in a conversation when it comes to, you know, just the cultural differences too. Especially here in the States as an outsider, so to speak, it was a hard adjustment to the fact that, if you take the time off, if you take it easy, if you create spaciousness in your life, then you're just being lazy. Even though as a creative person, you require that spaciousness, you require time and space for integration, for creativity, for ideas to come through. And for me personally, that is hard work. It's not rolling up the sleeves and pushing through. It's allowing myself to just be. That's freaking hard work.
Yeah. I think that's a great point, that self-sabotage can come in working too hard. That could be part of your self-sabotage. You get so busy, so ingrained that you don't allow yourself the space to be successful.
Yeah, or distracted with things that don't move the needle, but it keeps you busy. So you must be doing something right?
Yeah. Self-sabotage is such a hard one. And when you talk to people, they're always like, no, I deserve success and I'm working for it and it's going to happen. And then you see them do things and you're like, no, that didn't work out for you. I wish I could see it in myself as well.
I'm just grateful other people see it in me, because I'm still very bad at it.
Well, thank you for having this conversation with me. Self-sabotage is one of those really challenging topics, and I don't think there's a really good answer except have good people, hire a good coach, work with a good mentor, have conversations, and then listen to people when they talk to you about the mistakes that you're making. So thank you so much. We'll do it again real soon.
Thank you.